Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing really well wherever you're at in the world. Today, I'd like to tell you that it's time to take your true power back. In the last video, I talked about the I am, and I think quite a few people took it differently and probably didn't watch the whole thing and had a few dislikes that you guys can't see and even some unsubscribers. But if you really watched the whole thing, you would understand that what the I am is. And I'm not talking about any physical being. Yeah, you can believe what you want to believe, but we're talking about a higher power that's way beyond any being that there is. And that is the all. Some people call this many things, but this is beyond us. When we're talking about the all, this is the entire universe. And it decided one day that it had to create its own self and its own image. And the all is mind and the universe is mental. Everything is back to us when it comes to creating things. If that creates, then we create. It is all connection. We are all one with it. So when we understand that we are the center of this universe, that everything in your reality is what you believe it to be. And when we start believing in ourselves and changing also our beliefs of what we see in our external world, this is the time when things will become wonderful in your life. I was contemplating over the week, and everything that has happened in my life is because it's an internal belief. It's about our beliefs, our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts. There's a lot of things that we have to be aware of and control, but not control in a sense of managing these things that are coming through that we are aware of. Your eternal being is what it reflects on the external. So when we're talking about cause and effect, people have the wrong limiting belief of cause and effect, that whatever happens in your reality, it is what it is, but they don't understand that it is an internal that reflects back out. As within, so without. So it's what is internal with us. And I know sometimes that we want to manifest things and sometimes it doesn't even happen or it doesn't come when we really want it. But the thing here is that it comes when you are being the person that already has it. And you have to be able to impress your subconscious mind. When I hear comments like, I'll try this, I hope this will work, these words are going to work against you. If you're just hoping that it's going to work, or you're going to give this a try, you're not impressing your subconscious mind. You never want to use these type of words or even have it in your vocabulary. So you have to replace these words. And also, this is a lifestyle. You cannot just say, let me just give this a shot, and if it works, I'll come back and watch more of your videos. This doesn't work that way, and your mindset is in the wrong place still. And if you're not in the state of having the wish fulfilled, then this will never ever come into your existence. It is also the same thing when I talk about the I am. If you don't think you are the creator of your reality, then also you will never get the thing that you want. There's also a problem with the I am, is that when we are saying these things to ourselves, a lot of the times these things don't manifest. And the way that the conscious mind and the subconscious works, it works in a way that answers questions. So when you say, why is everything working in my favor? Or why am I most loving person in the world? You're asking your subconscious mind why that is, or how is it? Then it would go out and respond in your reality by showing you things why that is in your reality. It is all about our state of being and what we are thinking inside our mind. And it's also controlling our emotions, because emotions will bypass our thoughts. So yes, you can manifest in many different ways, and whatever works for you, then that is fine. There isn't one rule or one way of doing things. And some people will say, oh, that's not the way, or Neville didn't do that, or Neville didn't say that. When I actually read the books, like robotic affirming, people are calling it that these days. But Neville stated in his book that if you crowd the mind with the one thought, you have no room for negativity. You have no room for the doubts. You have no room to have fears in your mind, because when you're having that one thought over and over in your mind, you just can't think about the other things. But there are many steps that you have to take. It's not just one thing that we have to be aware of. We have to be aware of our awareness, our consciousness, because everything in our reality is awareness. And if you say that it is not, with quantum mechanics and quantum physics, it proves in science already that when they put a lens to the camera, the observer is the one that creates reality. Reality collapses when the observer watches it, and it behaves based off of the way you think, the way you feel, and that goes out into your unified fields. So if we want to get scientific with it, then obviously it's trying to catch up to make sense of this God or whatever you want to believe. But this higher being, this higher self, is way beyond us. And we are only a tiny fraction of what it is in this reality. And if we don't learn to impress the subconscious in the right way, because everything in our life is a program, if you do not program it, it will take over your reality and go about things because you basically didn't have the power in yourself or the knowing that you had this power, because you depended on an external source or external answer. So we can't just pray and say, I hope I will get this thing, because hope is a never-ending reach of not having this thing. Instead, for example, I'm not sure exactly where, but there was this tribe and they were in a drought season. And the man went up and asked him, what did he do to change that? And what he did and what he told him was, he assumed and prayed knowing that it has already rained and the crops are full. So that's how it would change, because their tribe believed that it has already rained, so the crops would already be there. And crazy things can happen, or great things can happen in our reality when we know that we are the power of our reality, and we just have to change the way we believe and perceive it. Now, when we say ignore the 3D, doesn't mean I have to ignore it to get the thing I want. It's more like living in your state of being, of what it is that you already are, who you want to be, and the 3D has to catch up to that. It's not ignoring it, but you're waiting for it to catch up to your reality, what you're believing inside internally. And that is when the things in your external world will start conforming to it and start changing to the way you believe it to be. And when we think of why hasn't it came yet, is that there is movement always. And sometimes you won't even be aware of it. The other weekend, I happened to just pop up on the news, and I think I was like one of the only vendors, or maybe two, but I was in it. I didn't get an interview or anything, but I had a photo of me in my booth working, setting up things. And I didn't know about it until a friend told me about it. When I believe that my business is doing good, things like that I wouldn't have never known because someone told me, that it's making it happen around me, whether I see it or not, because it's something internal that I already believe. And we have to say, instead of saying I am, because I am is a little tough on the subconscious, and the subconscious will say, no, you're not. And the trick into breaking through the I am is saying it in a question form. Why am I so successful at my business? Why am I the busiest person here? Why am I the top salesman of whatever company you're at? We can imagine, let's say if you wanted to be in top sales, that if you were in a phone room with 20 different people and you always notice that same person that gets all the sales, these things are running through phone lines, right, of leads, and everyone's going to get a chance to pick one up and say hello. But for some reason, this one gets in and you're like, why is he always so lucky? He always get the ones that are ready to buy. If we start believing that through those lines, and I know that these calls of those sales, the easy ones, will come directly to me, then you're putting that unlimited potential back out into the field. And these streams of energy are going towards the person that it is attracted to. And if your vibration and if your being is in the right state, then that will go to you. I've been in top sales in many things. I've been in top sales in loans. Life insurance was one of the hardest things to do. And I still get commissions monthly from that. And I quit that back in 2016. And I was doing it door to door. But I believed that everyone was going to let me in. I would knock, they would open, and I would come sit right down on their dinner table. But the thing here is that we have to know that we are in that state, that we are the best, that you are going to get the things that you want. You just have to continue to stay in the state and not waver from that and not question it. So don't stress or anything about the thing that you want. It's all about having that relaxed confidence in that knowing that everything is going to come to you when it's supposed to come to you. Because I never stick to one manifestation. I am always making new manifestations, and I never sit around and wait for the one. Because if you're waiting for the one, you're not in your present moment. You are in the past waiting for something to exist. And by the time that catches up, you have created no other manifestations. Because that is an easier way to detach, because I'm already creating new ones. I'm still embodying the state. I create more manifestations and more and more and more. And eventually things start aligning when they're supposed to, and things will start coming up. Say, wow, I can't believe that just happened. Or wow, I just can't believe this happened. So you shouldn't have any worries or anything like that. You can manifest the things in the middle. And I've done that a few times. But you end up realizing that why did you end up doing that when you should have just went for the bigger thing, right? And sometimes when I try to manifest things that I want quickly, sometimes it doesn't work. We're all human. Nobody is perfect in this reality. The thing is even though it didn't happen at the time that I wanted it, it happened like a year later or happened several months later because I've already shifted into the state of the person that already has it. So it kind of sucks sometimes that you want things now, but be patient and it'll come to you in the most surprising way. So live your life and don't wait for anything. Experience your reality by living in your present moment and being grateful for the things that you already have. You know, there's nothing wrong with having these emotions of gratitude, you know, being thankful for the things, because that is also a power in itself. But do you need to be in a happy-go-lucky state all the time? Absolutely not. But I could still be grateful even though I'm not happy. I could still be a negative person and just talking, oh, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. But I still keep getting people coming in my booth, buying things. So it's not really what you're saying in the moment, because people say, oh, you got to get out of that negative state. I'm like, no, that doesn't even matter when it comes to my reality, because I don't believe that causes something negative in my reality. Because with the law of assumption, you are what you assume to be. And when I say assume, it doesn't mean assume. It means the law of assumption when I say that. So I get people like, oh, don't assume, do this. What I mean by that is assume is by law of assumption. Use the law of assumption. So live your life, live freely, live in your moment as if everything, and not as if, but living as fact that it is going to happen. And we have to just stay in this state until your manifestation comes into place. Everything is already yours. There's no question or doubt when it's going to come, because if it's already yours, there's no need to ask. If you still want to know more about manifestation, then check out this video here to level up your reality.